If we get, say, more than 8 signups, then we will host a qualifier to determine who deserves the spot in tournament number 15 on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, if you want to compete, you're a 2400 rated team, and you think you have what it takes to come and play with the big boys, sign yourself up. We're going to be opening up those signups on Sunday. And here we go, boys. We're going to be jumping into this game. We got the double thumbs up from Clutter. The Wargame request has been sent out to both of these teams, and here we go. I'll see you guys in the first map shortly. Alright, welcome to the very first game. Oops, let me just turn something on. There we go. Welcome to the very first game of the finals. Nice one, Xaryu, going up against our Monk Sucks. That Mage Boomkin Holy Pally team facing the Monk Mistweaver TSG. Now, this is a rematch of previously what happened. Our Monk Sucks, they're not feeling too confident, but they made their way all the way here. They're hungry for it. They want to make something happen. They want to put their mark on it. So I feel like they're not just going to roll over against Nice One Xaryu, but they are scared. And they should be. This is one of the best teams GCD TV has. And they come back and they win tournaments like nothing. This is going to be quite a few tournaments under their belt if they win here. But here we go. Right away, Asbur is just getting dotted up by Vellido, and they're going to go with their previous strat of trying not to be too aggressive and looking for their advantages. The sleep coming out from Omnivore. That's a solid sweep coming out from them. Mageiden looking for the CC. He's actually just not even moving. The Icy Veins coming out finally. The Deep Freeze, the Solar Beam, the Hodge onto Adëllah. They're setting up onto him. The Cocoon comes out as well. They want to make a statement here. They want to take down the Mistweaver Monk. The Cocoon got chopped through regardless. Adëllah somehow, some way is still okay, but now Omnivore taking a bit of the pressure as Adëllah's put into that full polymorph. Die by the sword being forced and the regen, and all of a sudden Nice One Xaryu opener is just going to force so much out of our Monk Sucks, but Asbur now taking a bit of the damage as Felorea's put into that full cyclone that was stolen by Vellido. Asbur now scared. He's going to use that bark skin.
Yeah, and Felorea sat through that CC. His Avenging Wrath has faded, so he doesn't have that big healing. Mageiden and Asbur are just going to pull back, build up their icicles, wait for the next push in here with the Deep Freeze. Vellido getting cloned, Hodge on the Omnivore. He's going to trinket that, the Polymorph landing nonetheless. Mageiden feeling a bit of pressure as he did overextend here to get the crowd control. It might be hard for him to chain it as well. He's trying to fake cast the interrupts. He's not going to be able to chain the Polymorph. Leg sweep onto Asbur to deny any Cyclones from coming out. Felorea positioned at the center of the map, spamming the heals with no crowd control on him. He's going to easily heal through this damage. Adëllah down to 80% mana. Asbur getting locked on that clone. No bark skin. Stun onto Felorea at 60% HP. Asbur blinks, gets gripped back on his blink at 50% HP, but he's just going to kitty cat dash away back to Felorea's side. Adëllah now into a Deep Freeze with the Solar Beam into a ring. Omnivore in a full stun. No trinket available. Adëllah has to trinket. Use his Life Cocoon to get Omnivore offensive here onto Mageiden, who has both blocks available. Asbur going for a Cyclone onto that Life Cocoon. Going to be denying any effect of that Absorb completely. Felorea to the center of the map. They're just going to be waiting for that Deep Freeze and just doing this constant pull back, push in, pull back, push in. Landing the full poly now without the Deep Freeze might mean an early kill on Omnivore. He's spamming the shield barriers, but he's caught in the center of the map. He looked to push up to land a Fear. Now he's stunned in the center of the map. Felorea into a stun. Deep Freeze into clone onto Adëllah. Omnivore at half HP. Star Surge comes flying at him. Starfire after Starfire into a reclone here. It gets mass reflected onto Asbur. Good reflect by Omnivore, giving Adëllah a little bit more time to heal. He's going to put Asbur into a leg sweep. Omnivore trying to capitalize on that and hit him a little bit here, but not too much damage coming out just yet.
Yep, this full cycle going to land on Omnivore, just stopping all their momentum. The full polymorph lands onto Adëllah, though. The bash onto Omnivore, they want to set up once again as the polymorph is sticking onto Adëllah into the beam. The DR Hodge onto Omnivore, Deep Freeze onto Adëllah. Omnivore just can't catch a break here. The beam is still available. The Die by the Sword being forced out. The Rallying Cry as well. Adëllah still in this cycle, and the Rallying Cry is going to fade here very shortly. Can Adëllah top off his worry before it does? It looks like he's going to use that Aura Master. He's going to be okay. Now Omnivore, he wants to do something. He's going to use that recklessness. He wants to jump in onto Asbur. Asbur instantly just going to blink away and use that bark skin. He's going to be A-okay for now, and it just looks hopeless for our Monk Sucks, but who knows? I mean, we've seen crazier things here at GCD TV. The Deep Freeze lands onto Adëllah. AMS being used onto Vellido as they're swapping over onto him. The full ring lands. The Hodge lands onto Vellido, but he's going to get out of that. The DR polymorph onto Adëllah. The CC just never ends on this Mistweaver Monk, but so far this double melee is doing a good job surviving.
Yeah, and the Gargoyle coming out, a lot of pressure. Felorea getting locked out. If there was a time to get a kill, it might be now. Into the half-stun onto Felorea at 30%. He's going to use the wall. Avenging Wrath, Execution Sentence, Polymorph's going out like crazy onto Omnivore. A Fear comes out to try and deny any of these polys from coming in. The Rude Beam lands with the Deep Freeze. They're going to be able to chain it out. Vellido's in trouble here at 40% in a full Hodge. No trinket for 5 seconds. Life Cocoon and Trinket used by Adëllah to keep him offensive onto Felorea, dipping him to 45% HP. He's got a few more seconds with that Avenging Wrath healing increase. He's going to be able to top himself off with those seconds, which is very important for him. Omnivore's not able to capitalize on the damage output. Vellido, though, at 30% HP, 19% HP, and even with no crowd control, forcing the AMS and Lichborn out. Now the full bash into Adëllah. He's going to instantly nimble out, dispel the poly on Omnivore, trying to get his team to do a little bit more damage here onto Asbur, but he doesn't have bar skin, and they still can't just dip him low. There's just not enough CC on the side of our Monk Sucks to make Felorea have to expend any major cooldowns, and now the full stun on Omnivore. Is the heal going to be enough? Denouncers are flying in, die by the sword at 20%. Heroic leap back defensively. The clone gets reflected, but it might not be enough. 9%, 7%, 3%, 2-1. 18 gets cloned. 12 Star Surge comes through, and that's going to be it for our Monk Sucks. Nice one, Xaryu, nailing the first nail in the coffin.
First nail indeed in the coffin, as our Monk Sucks is going to secure their first win here. Now, there's something to note about this game. I know we've seen this compositions go up against each other before, and it always was so convincing for Nice One Xaryu, though, that there was a point there where they actually swapped over onto Felorea and got so many defensive cooldowns. Now, I don't know necessarily if there's any hope for our Monk Sucks to make something happen against this amazing team, but I feel like they definitely got to change up their strat, and I feel like I'm feeling an all-in SCVs, man. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. Sadly, I do have to leave.
No problem, buddy. I will see you around. Everyone, make sure to say goodbye to Supatees and follow him on Twitter at twitter.com/Supatees.
Good luck.
I'm going to need it, buddy.
There might be an upset. Maybe I'm bad luck. We'll find out if I'm bad luck.
Maybe you're bad luck. Absolutely.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be heading out for now. Enjoy the rest of the games. I will see you guys next week.
All right, guys. It's just you and us now. So, we're going to be jumping into the second game of this best-of-5 series here in the semifinals on GCD TV. Currently, we have Nice One Xaryu versus our Monk Sucks. And our Monk Sucks running that Mistweaver TSG. It's looking rough for them, man. It absolutely is. Alright, Ruins of Lordaeron coming out from our Monk Sucks. They want to bring it to a smaller map. They want to be able to use that double melee to connect to the targets they want to kill. And we're going to queue right up here. Just one moment. Now, on a map like Ruins of Lordaeron, I definitely think it does give the advantage to the double melee. I feel as though they are capable of making something happen when they don't have to get kited nearly as much, but who knows what's going to happen here. We are in the finals of GCD TV number 15, and the next map of this Best of 5 series is Ruins of Lordaeron. Welcome to Ruins of Lordaeron. It is Nice One Xaryu going up against our Monk Sucks in the finals. We have that Mage Boomkin Holy Pally team that is just so very strong. They have proven themselves time and time again here at GCD TV, and this is no exception, making their way to the finals through the winner's bracket. But all of a sudden, our Monk Sucks, the underdogs, coming all the way from the qualifiers. They want to make a stand here and now on Ruins of Lordaeron. 5 seconds until these gates open. It's going to be It's going to be scary. I mean, we've seen how strong Nice One Xaryu is. We've seen their CC to just stop the momentum. They're a defensive cooldown rotation. It's brutal, but I don't know. Right away, both of these double melee are going to jump over onto Felorea. It seems Felorea may be the kill target. Reckless is coming out for Omnivore. They want to make something happen. Vellido going to connect as well. Whole bunch of damage going out onto Omnivore, though there's the cocoon coming out from Adëllah. The polymorph's going to land onto him as well. Felorea using that wings and execution sentence. He's going to get gripped back in by Vellido. Vellido's going to get cycloned up. He's going to trinket right out of it. They want to go Mongo. They want to get onto Felorea, but this wings are going to be up for 15 more seconds, and he should be completely fine doing that. He's so comfy. He's even getting the denounces out back onto Omnivore. Omnivore, though, desperately trying to reconnect. He's going to intervene his DK and connect onto Felorea, and Felorea's wings are going to fall. Felorea doesn't have that wall or wings or execution sentence for a little bit longer here. The full cycle and polymorph lands onto Vellido, though, peeling him up. Omnivore now catching the cyclone, but the full stun's going to land on Felorea. He doesn't have a wall for it. He does have bubble. He does have trinket. He does have aura mastery to get through, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done from this TSG. But Asbur is going to go and use some of those abilities. Vellido not stealing all that much. He just stole a move fire, I believe, onto Felorea. Mageiden desperately trying to get that CC out onto Adëllah, but so far Felorea's just sitting comfy. They're going to swap the pressure back over onto Asbur. Asbur in that Moon Chicken form going to take a lot less damage. The full Hodge lands onto Omnivore. The polymorph onto Adëllah into the DR bash. Omnivore needs to be careful here. He's going to go ahead and use that regen as Adëllah's still in these DR polymorphs. The mass butterfly comes out just a second too late, and Omnivore is still taking an onslaught of damage, but it looks like these double melee DPS want to reconnect onto Adëllah. Actually, it just looks like Vellido wants to connect onto Adëllah, as Omnivore is going to connect onto Asbur. Asbur caught into that full shockwave now at this point. But every single time this Monk TSG gets any sort of momentum, it's either countered by CC or defensive cooldowns. Just Nice One Xaryu just rotating their ability so well, but the full stun's going to go out onto Omnivore, and it's just going to be answered with the cocoon, as Adëllah was put into that polymorph right before that cocoon, so nice job by him. Adëllah getting charged up, or I'm sorry, Felorea getting charged up. The full stun does land. Asbur caught into his own cyclone. Felorea is scared. He's going to use that wall. The double leg sweep on both Mageiden and Asbur. Felorea is currently alone. He's going to use that execution sentence wings once again, just rotating through those defensive cooldowns as they come back up. They did get some defensive cooldowns, but they got to get more than that if they want to get some pressure out onto Nice One Xaryu. This is a scary moment for our Monk Sucks, as Omnivore's caught into that Hodge, into the full cycle, and the polymorph lands onto Adëllah. Omnivore still CC'd up. It's just the momentum is never there for this Monk TSG. They need to figure something out if they want to win. There's a Recklessness coming out from the Omnivore. They're going on to Mageiden at this point. Mageiden taking a bit of pressure, but he has 2 blocks available to them. But they're going to swap it over onto Felorea with this Recklessness. The Recklessness is going to fall. The Fear is going to land on the floor, and now they're swapping it. Omnivore dipping lower and lower. He's going to use the Rallying Cry. The full polymorph goes out onto Adëllah. Die by the sword in desperation onto Omnivore. 5%, 1%. He goes down. And again, Nice One Xaryu is going to nip up another round off of our Monk Sucks here in the finals. And now all of a sudden, our Monk Sucks are just 1 game away from 2nd place. It's a hard matchup for this team, our Monk Sucks. Now, something else to note, guys, is that in our map choices, they brought it to Ruins of Lordaeron trying to get an advantage with their composition being double melee, but they can't play a map twice, so now they're probably going to bring it to something smaller like Dalaran Sewers or maybe even Tiger's Peak. But it's going to be a rough time for them. They got to make some drastic changes if they want to take some games off of these guys. But being down 2-0, they're going to need a miracle at this point if they want to take 1st place against such a strong team. Oh my gosh. That's interesting. Well then, I just got some news from Clutter that there are potentially going to be composition changes coming out from these teams, and I'm not going to let you guys know what exactly is going to happen. I'm going to let you guys find out. Oh, actually, I have to at least tell one person. The next map chosen by our Monk Sucks, they're going to bring their last stand to Dalaran Sewers. Good luck, our Monk Sucks. You're going to need it going up against this team. But I don't know. I don't know. All of a sudden. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That stuff's getting declined. Okay. They're losing because the monk sucks. According to them, that's why. But I must say, Adëllah is quite a good Mistweaver monk. Shout out to that guy. And shout out to their entire team for coming back and competing. And also, just shout out to every competitor in GCD TV tournaments. We did get the double thumbs up from the Clutter. And we're going to jump into the third game of this best of 5 series. This is tournament number 15 finals. The grand prize of tournament number 15, I do believe, well, the prize pool for tournament number 15 is $550. So, not a bad amount of money, I must say. 550 bones. I could do quite a few things with 550 bones. But the next map of this best of 5 series is going to be played out on none other than Adëllah Sewers. Welcome back, everybody, to Adëllah-Kel'thuzad. Nice one, Xaryu. As you can see, is running that double Mage Holy Pally composition, trying to mix things up here in the finals, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not sure if this is the best move when there's money on the line, but these guys are that confident that they're going to bring out the double Mage. I mean, they do have two games of cushion to lose, so... But maybe they could take a win off of this Monk TSG here in the Grand Finals. That would be a Grand Final indeed. The Frost Novas everywhere, just rooting up everyone. The Polymorph lands onto Vellido. Adëllah in the Deep Freeze. He's not going to get followed up just yet. The Reckless is coming out onto Mageiden. The Polymorph onto Vellido. The CC is just unbelievable from this double Mage team. Adëllah, though, caught in that full Polymorph. Omnivore into Polymorph as well. Mageiden dipping down to 50% health here as Felorea is in that CC. There is the Save by the Light is going to proc onto Mageiden as well. It's going to force the block, and all of a sudden, I don't know, this cocky play coming out from Nice One Xaryu might come back to bite them. Omnivore, though, dipping down to 50% health here. Adëllah not even in any CC. He's going to get topped up, no problem. But Mageiden getting caught by that bop as Felorea still in that full fear. Mageiden, that bop actually did get purged off, though. The Polymorph lands onto Adëllah. The Hodge onto Omnivore. They're setting up onto Omnivore right here. The DR Polymorph comes out of that, and their Mageiden is in trouble, though, at 30% health here. Is this going to be a second block already? He's going to blink away from the charge stun, but Omnivore's still right there. The Deep Freeze lands onto Adëllah, and that's going to force the Cocoon out on to Omnivore, but Mageiden getting lower and lower, just holding on to that block for some reason. Oh, he's got a block there as he gets gripped back from his blink. Felorea topping him up out of that block, but now Mageiden, all of a sudden, he's scared. He has no more blocks left, and this double DPS, this double melee DPS is connecting once again, but there's the die by the sword onto Omnivore, the Polymorph onto Adëllah, Omnivore dipping lower and lower, the Mass Spelliflight coming out trying to reduce the CC and the damage, but regardless, the half Polymorph does land onto Adëllah. Mageiden still taking a chunking amount of damage on himself. The Frostjaw lands onto Adëllah, he gets himself out of it into the Deep Freeze. Omnivore's constantly in trouble, but he needs to stay offensive to get back onto Mageiden. He has no more blocks for 2 minutes. The Deep Freeze lands onto Adëllah, the Hodge onto Omnivore, it gets dispelled though, as the Deep was still on DR. Mageiden still taking a whole bunch of pressure this whole game from this Monk DK, but Omnivore constantly scared. The full Polymorph lands, Omnivore's in trouble. He's at 30% health here. Adëllah just catching all the CC, and Omnivore still low. He just can't catch a heal, and that's going to force the Cocoon out from Adëllah. Mageiden, though, doing a great job kiting this double melee back. The full leg sweep lands onto Felorea. Mageiden caught into that fear, but he's consistently just taking the damage as this is Recklessness through Omnivore. He's at 50% health here. He gets caught into the Hodge. The orb is coming out from I don't even know which mage. Mageiden dipping down to 30% health. Felorea has that Orb Master. He's just spamming the heals. The Hand of Sacrifice comes out. It gets dispelled. Felorea spamming spamming the heals through all this damage. Who needs CC when you have a ridiculous amount of damage? But the bubble is going to be forced out of Felorea, and the bop on the Mageiden. Can they make this happen in a weird comp like this? The Cold Snap is going to come back up in 30 seconds here. Felorea is trying to catch himself up, but he's going to get swapped too. The stun's going to land at him. The Save by the Light's going to proc. He has no bubble. He's trinketing. He's using the sprint to get away. The wall's going to fade. Omnivore now on the back foot. Die by the Sword going to be forced. The polymorph lands onto Adëllah into another polymorph. I'm glad that these guys have it glyphed so we know which polymorph is whose, but Omnivore's still in a lot of trouble at 60% health here, and just the cross CC is unbelievable. But one of the polymorphs gets stolen and gets put back onto Felorea. Mageiden in some trouble. He has Ice Block now available to him finally. He's going to press the Cold Snap. He's going to be okay for now, and the Cocoon going to be forced out onto Omnivore, but now all of a sudden the constant pressure of this TSG is just doing work on these mages. Mageiden and Asbur both have only one block available to them. The full polymorph lands onto Adëllah. Omnivore now at 60% healthier into the deep freeze onto Adëllah. This is Orb as well into the Frostjaw. Adëllah finally getting out of this CC. Gonna catch a big heal onto Omnivore. Omnivore completely fine. Wants to stay aggressive now as both of these mages still have only one block available to them for only 2 more minutes though. They gotta stay offensive. The fear goes out from Omnivore onto Felorea. Mageiden getting chunked down to 30% healthier. Saved by the Light's gonna proc, and the stun goes out onto Felorea. Is this gonna be his last and final block? It is, and the block is used, and he doesn't have another one for 2 whole minutes. But Omnivore now caught in the hodge. He's gonna trinket out of it. The polymorph lands onto Adëllah. Omnivore 55% healthier. Can he survive long enough to take down Mageiden? Mageiden at 40% healthier. No blocks available to them. All the CDs are being used from Felorea. No bubble, no bop, no trinket. Everything's done. Omnivore at 70% healthier. Adëllah, though, he's keeping Omnivore offensive somehow, some way through all the CC. Reckless is coming out from Omnivore now onto Mageiden. Mageiden blinking away at 70% healthier. The full stun lands onto Felorea. Mageiden, no blocks available, dipping down to 30% healthier. He's going to catch the execution sentence. It's going to keep him alive for now. Adëllah now being put into the triple DRCC, and Omnivore is going to catch the Cocoon right before the deep freeze in. Mageiden doing just an amazing job kiting these guys around and just being a live lord for so long. And as I say that, we're at 2% dampening, boys, and the Cocoon is going to fade, and Omnivore is starting to get a little bit scared here. Mageiden now just completely tapped on mana from spell stealing. The leg sweep lands onto Felorea. Asbur now taking a bit of pressure. Felorea at 50% healthier. Asbur at 60% healthier, and they're going to connect on the Mageiden once again. Mageiden has no block for a whole minute. The DR stun goes out onto Felorea. That might be a misplay, and they needed it to be a full duration. The full polymorph lands onto Omnivore through that. Felorea at 65% healthier. Asbur at 50% healthier. Mageiden at 50% healthier. The full polymorph lands onto Adëllah. Vellido caught into some CC again. Another polymorph just across CC for days. But one of them's gonna get caught. One of them's stolen and put onto Felorea, and Mageiden's in some trouble at 30% health with no ice block available for 30 more seconds. This TSG needs to make something happen in the next 27 seconds or they're done for at 8% dampening. Omnivore now using that regen as Adëllah is put into that deep freeze. No follow-up CC on Adëllah just yet. The full fear lands onto Felorea. He's gonna bot Mageiden out of it, but it's gonna get purged. Mageiden is scared. He's got to kite these guys. He doesn't have a block for 9 more seconds, and he's at 40% health here. Is he going to be able to survive in time? The full Hodge lands on Omnivore. He's going to trinket out of it to avoid any of the setup coming out from these guys, and Mageiden now has his 3rd block available to them. We are at 11% dampening. Can this Monk TSG make something happen? Felorea now caught into the stun. He doesn't have a bubble for a whole minute. Saved by the Light's going to proc. Omnivore still connecting, but Vellido is caught way in the background, getting polymorphed up. The War Mastery coming out from Felorea. The Ring of Frost defensively onto Felorea is going to peel up Omnivore, but only for a brief moment. Felorea just desperately trying not to get kicked here. The Shockwave's going to land. He has no trinket available to them. No bubble for 46 seconds. Is this going to be it? The Hodge lands onto Omnivore. Is the cross kill going to occur? The half polymorph lands onto Adëllah. Omnivore into the deep freeze at 30% healthier. The triple DR poly into the DR Frostjaw. The DRs for days running double mage, but Omnivore survived with with his die by the sword, and Felorea has 30 more seconds until his bubble is back and available to them. The full leg sweep lands on the Felorea into the triple DR stun. He's dipped down to 15% health here. The execution is coming out from Omnivore. He gets deep freezed up on it. He couldn't press the button through the heroic leap, and Felorea is alive somehow, some way, and he has his bubble available in only 8 more seconds. The Hodge goes out. Omnivore at 50% healthier. Felorea can survive only 4 more seconds. He can survive, but he doesn't get that far, and he's gonna go down, and our Monk Sucks are gonna take a win off of the cocky nice one Xaryu. Nice one, Xaryu. Not sure why they're using that composition. Maybe for sportsmanship, maybe to prove a point. But either way, our Monk Sucks is going to take a map off of them at the very end. Goodness gracious me, oh my, that game. Now, nice one, Xaryu. I'm not sure if they're going to be playing that again. If I was them with $500 on the line, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go hop on my boomkin. That's how I'd play that out. But these guys aren't me. These guys are amazing players. I'm going to go ahead and get in communication with our Monk Sucks and see if they're going to constantly keep playing that Monk TSG. I'm assuming they will, as they haven't changed their composition yet in this tournament. But the map choice is going to be on Nice One Xaryu, and they only need one more game to take tournament number 15. And I have been disconnected from Battle.net. D-Machine off to get the oxygen mask. Yeah, that was intense, huh? It was intense. Just waiting on teams to respond, but they can't respond. I just realized they can't respond. Hello? Okay.
Hold on, I'll talk to them. Mine's working.
Yours is working?
Yeah, what?
Sniffing Pickles just said WoW is down. Wait, is the stream up? Am I here? Hello?
Yeah, the stream's working.
Alright, cool. What's up, guys? Let's hang out with you. Well, Clutter goes and does all that, so I guess I have a little bit of time here in the finals to hang out with you guys. I'm D-Machine. What's going on? So, I'm going to be streaming more on my channel if you guys want to hang out with me. That's cool. Twitch.tv/DMachine52. Yeah. So, we're just waiting on Clutter to go and get in contact with these players to see what's going on here and what map and stuff. Vel is going to be playing, Vellido is going to be still playing the same composition. Our Monk Sucks still going to be playing the same composition. The map choice coming out from Mageiden is... She sent it to me, Tiger's Peak. Alright, here we go, boys. We're going to go to Tiger's Peak Arena here. I have no target. This is bad.
Oh, no.
Hello? Alright, guys, so let me walk you through exactly on how this works. Let me show you my entire interface. So this is Arena Live. You type /ALSpec to jump into it, and now you use Real ID to invite these players to a game. Now, this is possibly the last match of the finals, and Real ID has gone down. I'm not kidding. What is happening? Shout out to What's a Selfie. Thank you so much, brother, and welcome to the GCD family. Thank you for the subscription. I really do appreciate that, man. I didn't say that? What does that mean, man? Just restart WoW? Okay, I'll try restarting WoW. Hold on, boys. Here we go. It's dmachine52.dmachine. You made me follow some scrub. I apologize. Yes, my Twitch is dmachine52. If you want to know what my Twitch is, you can actually read about it in the info on the commentators below. Yeah, I'm restarting WoW, boys. Don't worry. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. Usually, like, Battle.net errors occur when, like, when it's down. I never had this occur where I just can restart and fix it. I mean, I did go to college for a brief moment to become someone in IT, and that's like the main thing they teach you. Restart it. Unplug it and plug it back in, right? So you fix everything. So you fix people. Just restart them. Alright guys, here we go. /AL spec. Hey, they're there. Right, we're in it to win it, boys. We're going to jump into the next series, possibly the final round of GCD TV tournament number 15. The Wargame request has been sent out. No one's accepting just yet. Here we go. The queue is up. The map is chosen. And the next map is Tiger's Peak. Here we go. D-Machine is getting weird. Time for some rest. You're not wrong. I am tired. Here we go, boys. It's Nice One Xaryu versus our Monk Sucks in the grand finals of tournament number 15. Mageiden and Asbur and Felorea going up against Vellido, Omnivore, and Adëllah. Now back on their main comps. They're not trying any more double mage shenanigans. No, sir. They want to take the grand prize here at GCD TV. And I can't blame them, man. It's a good amount of money. It's a grand amount of money. Well, I mean, it's not a grand. It's a lot of money. To me. But here we go. Our Monk Sucks are just going to go ahead and leave Omnivore in the middle of the map. Gonna stay. Just kidding. Sorry about that, boys. We're going to figure out what's going on. So, Clutter.
Yeah.
What's the dealio?
All he said was, "Requeue, my monk is a moron."
Right. Alright. We will do just that. EQ, my monk is a moron. Alright, boys. Here we go. Alright, let's try this one more time, shall we, boys? Nice One Xaryu going up against our Monk Sucks in GCD TV tournament number 15 finals. Hello. Is Mageiden and Asbur and Felorea going to have another GCD belt to put on the wall for all to see? Or is our Monk Sucks going to shatter some dreams, as they did get that one game advantage going up against double mage? I don't know. Maybe our Monk Sucks now are like, okay, we can't let them do this to us. Maybe they got a second wind. They're like, they're going to try to play double mage. Hell no. We're going to take it 3-2. That could happen. I've seen crazier things. I've seen crazier things. 20 seconds until these gates open. Monk TSG versus Mage Boomkin Holy Paladin. Who would ever think that we'd see these two teams face each other in the finals? 9 seconds until these gates open. Here we go, boys. Wait. No. Hello? Is he? Is this real? What? Wait. Is he a Windwalker? He's a Windwalker monk! No, he's not. Yes, he is! Well, no, he's not. He might be! I don't know. Omnivore using that recklessness, using the Blade Storm. He's getting offensive onto Felorea. Die by the sword being used. Fear as well. They are playing all in SUVs. The Hurricane keeps coming out. The Chi Burst as well. Omnivore at 50% healthier. He doesn't have a healer. He's a scared panda. There's the beam coming out. It's going to get Aura Mastery'd up. But just kidding. That's Felorea's Aura Mastery. The Karma's going to go out onto Felorea, but Omnivore at 4% healthier. He's going to go down. And the Windwalker dream is dead. Hello, Felorea still trying to survive. He's just gonna leave. Our Monk Sucks. Our Monk Sucks. No. Hello? Our Monk Sucks trying to come out in honor. Trying. Oh. Shoutouts goes to our Monk Sucks. They have been defeated, but with honor. Doing everything they have in their power to make it happen, but it didn't work. The all-in SUVs. How much till the goal is filled? Like 200 bones. We are $313 to our $500 goal for next week, boys. Something else to note. But thank you guys so much. That is going to conclude tournament number 15, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here at GCD TV number 15. I do have a couple shout-outs that I wanted to fulfill before we get out of here and before we bomb somebody. We do want to bomb somebody within the community, within the PvP community, giving back to all these competitors that make this possible for me. And one person I definitely want to bomb is Chance motherfucking, excuse my French, Chance Morris for the amazing bomb. It helped us maintain a viewership that we've only maintained once ever. So thank you so much, Chance, for giving us that opportunity. Really do appreciate that, buddy. I'm excited to do some 60 stuff with you. We just got a $200 donation. Oh my goodness, that's why you're asking me. Okay, that makes sense now. I'm freaking oblivious. So, thank you, Chance. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, pal. We did just get a $200 donation from none other than Soda Poppin' himself. Thank you so much, my friend. Really do appreciate that, man. That makes a lot more sense to me why you asked that. Okay, thanks, buddy. So we did reach our goal of $500 for our next tournament next week. Thank you so much to everyone who donated and helped support us. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, we are gonna bomb a lucky person in chat.
His name from that tournament.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't stream.